So if you've recently been on sim racing websites and you've been looking at sim racing equipment, maybe you've had stuff in your basket and you're just deciding whether to buy or not, but you kind of want to get that extra information. You want that honest view on equipment, what's important, what's not, what do the numbers mean, is it a good price or not? Hopefully this video is going to help you. I've never seen a video like this before. I don't often shoot stuff like this, but I'm recording it. It's the evening of Black Friday. And I've seen so much content today, posts from YouTubers talking about one brand and how it's the best deal ever and how you've got to buy it now, otherwise the deal's going to go. And I just want to shoot something because I can about a lot of different equipment and give you my honest views on it. So here we go. There's so much stuff here. Hopefully you're going to find it really helpful. I'm going to have to change the camera around. So hopefully this is going to work. Apologies, normally I don't do it like that. And you can see this wall of wheels I've got here, and a PC, and wheelbases, and pedals, and everything. We're going to go through the lot. And like I said, I just want you to feel comfortable with the end of this video, that you have a little bit better knowledge about sim racing equipment. What's important, what's not, what you should be looking out for, how does stuff compare, pricing, etc. So we may as well start here with the FSR. This is the Moza FSR. It's a Formula wheel from Moza, and I'm going to start with the cons. Like, just going to be straight up with you. The cons of this wheel are that the grips here are quite hard and it's quite a narrow diameter wheel, which means if you've got big hands, it can feel like you have to grip the wheel tightly. Now, I've done the Daytona 24 hours on this wheel. I've done a lot of sim racing this wheel, so I'm kind of used to it. I would recommend actually using gloves with this wheel to kind of cushion it. My friend Sam Dimmola, you may have seen on the channel, he bought one of these for £350 in the UK, which is a steal. I think it's normally about $650 USD new. So if you're getting deals like, you know, below 500, that's a good price for this wheel, I believe. You've got more buttons than you need. You've got nice shifters, clutch. The screen doesn't rotate, but you know, it's a square, it's a rectangular screen. But just bear in mind that don't rush in and buy this wheel. If you've got big hands especially, you might prefer the wider form factor wheels from other brands. Or Moza do the GS V2, which I don't have here, but the GS V2 is a little bit wider, can be a little bit more comfortable. So we'll keep going right. This is the Moza Vision GS. I think it's on sale at Black Friday, but again, going to start with the con of this wheel. It's very unusually shaped, you can see. It's not like the normal GT form factor. It's not like the normal Formula form factor. So just bear that in mind. It's got this massive party trick where the screen turns on and it levels. So when the wheels turn, the screen will be level. It's got so many buttons and thumbsticks and everything, and again, shifters and a clutch. But it is an unusual shape. Like, this is not the wheel that I use the most, even though it's the wheel with the biggest party trick. I think this has also gone on sale on Black Friday. Well, actually, I'm not sure the FSR's on sale, but I think I saw some on this wheel. But again, check the price, check where it's been, understand that different form factor. Both of these are carbon fiber, by the way, but it's carbon fiber faceplate. It's not actually all the way carbon fiber, which you can get these days. That's two from Moza. Moving over to Thrustmaster. So if you're watching this video, you're in the Thrustmaster ecosystem. Hello there. This is the 488 GT3 add-on wheel. It's a big competitor to the Fanatec GT3. The Fanatec GT3 is like the king. This is the most underrated wheel in sim racing. Let's be honest, how many YouTubers have you seen get some new and expensive equipment from Fanatec, say in the video it's the best wheel for Fanatec, and then the next stream they're back on this wheel? Let's just be honest about it. It's a great form factor. We'll get on to that. Thrustmaster 488. Pretty kind of nice, glossy, fake carbon fiber finish. Again, it's not nowhere near all the way through. Quite a competitive price, I think about £200, similar to the Fanatec. It's a replica, so you know all this is dictated by the car in real life. Doesn't have clutch paddles, but it does have really big shifters. The quick release doesn't inspire confidence, so you're not getting a rock solid confidence inspiring quick release with it. And you can use it on Thrustmaster T818, 598. I do have the 598 in for review, by the way. I just want to say, let me see if I can flick this around. I just want to say, on the Thrustmaster T818, okay, and the 598, the 598 is so competitively priced and it's being pushed really hard. And I think from my time in Germany, it's a good wheelbase. However, it's not the most powerful, right? If you're in the Thrustmaster ecosystem, you like Thrustmaster, and you're not on console, still definitely consider the T818. T818 has that power and the refinement. The T598 does have less power, although it's got the dual axial. Anyway, full review coming on the T598, and I've obviously done lots of videos on it already from Germany. Let's talk about the Fanatec GT3. Like I said, the king. Look, I've done so many races on this. 24-hour races. I raced 8 hours straight in this wheelbase, which was absolutely insane. Wouldn't necessarily recommend that to anyone. It's a very, very, very fun wheel to use. It's not particularly high quality, I would say, in terms of the finish. However, the form factor is insane. Like very nice chunky grips. It's got a load of buttons as well. So if you get a deal on that, I mean, even if you don't get a deal on that, that's just a good wheel to buy from Fanatec. Next one here, this is probably the best wheel that we have here at the moment. By the way, part of the reason I'm shooting this video is that all these wheels are about to move shortly, which is exciting. So you can see this is the ASCHER McLaren GT4. I was going to say really expensive, but I reckon this is a similar price to the Moza Vision GS. About €700-800 for this one. Insane quality. You don't have funky switches, you don't have a screen, you're saving costs there, and what that money is going towards is insane build quality. I interviewed the guy who made it, Martin Asher. Max Verstappen uses a variant as well. Definitely go watch my interview with the guy who made this wheel. It's insane. Asher are definitely a name to watch. I think they have a sale on at the moment, 15%. So worth considering. But I do want to make a point. Let me try and flick it over again. I do want to say, by the way, if you are feeling under pressure, so that's probably way too close. If you're feeling under pressure to buy stuff on Black Friday, don't pressure yourself. Like if brands want to sell you stuff, they're going to drop the prices elsewhere during the year. Like honestly, I'll talk more about it later. Okay, so here we go. This is the PIMAX Crystal. This is my VR headset that I use a lot. 120 hertz iRacing in this is incredible. It's like going back in the day being in the arcade. Have seen a lot of your comments to my PIMAX videos, people saying, oh, it seems like PIMAX might be sending different headsets to reviewers than people buy, which I find concerning. Also, a lot of people who'd pre-ordered previous PIMAX headsets, there's been delays and things. I feel like PIMAX are, as far as I'm aware, the only VR company really pushing things in sim racing. And I feel like they're at the cutting edge, and I suspect when stuff goes wrong in their supply chain, it has like a big knock-on effect. So that's the PIMAX Crystal. This is the OG Crystal with the battery. Personally, for me, that one I really like. It works for me. But you have to remember with PIMAX, these are like cutting-edge headsets. The software is not the most intuitive. You have to tweak them. You need a beastly PC to run it. We'll talk more about VR later in this video. Moza KS. Now, when this all came out, I was like, whoa, this is a really competitive wheel because it's just generally better than the Fanatec McLaren. However, this wheel is still more expensive than the Fanatec McLaren. This is an area where Moza can't compete on price with Fanatec. And I think it's on sale again from Moza. It's a nice wheel. It's got shifters and clutch. So that's nice, although the Fanatec also has both. And I like the bar shifter on the Fanatec. It's got loads of nice buttons. It's got really nice ergonomics, basically. But it's not the best feeling in terms of quality, a bit like the Fanatec McLaren. It's more about form factor over, say, quality materials, I'll say. And I did have an issue with this one, which is the quick release became loose. And so I took off all the screws and I found that you needed to take the sticker off, which is why the sticker's all messed up. So the screws under there you've got to take out. And also the screws look like they should really be Loctite screws, and then they'll be tighter. So if you've got one of these or you're thinking about buying it, but you're not sure how to take it apart, ask in the comments and hopefully someone can provide the name of that video that I did. So Fanatec WRC wheel, not my favourite wheel, I've got to be honest. It's not like the Fanatec. Shifters are really bad, like nothing there compared to the Thrustmaster. Also, Alcantaras need to wear gloves on it. However, it's sort of growing on me. This is an important wheel for me to buy, important moment in sort of me doing YouTube stuff. And I did use it a lot on Mazdas and kind of road cars and swapping it with the Fanatec McLaren. So this is basically the P1 rim from Fanatec. Kind of like, okay, but it's growing on me in hindsight. Moza make this truck wheel. This is insane, this truck wheel. I don't know why other sim racing companies don't do this as well. It's so much fun to drive. Any road car in this is a proper road feeling because the way the diameter is so big, the wheel sort of like feeds back through your hands. It's really satisfying. I don't know why Fanatec don't do one like this. You can obviously map all the stuff. It gets a little bit painful because they're all like F23, F22, you're not sure which is which, but you can map it all. One thing I wish I did, and there's probably heresy, but I wish they just added a couple of shifters on the back. There's no shifters on this thing at all. So you need to use a shifter with it. But yeah, it's a really interesting wheel. Not surprised more companies aren't doing it. Let me show you something here which is exciting. Not the T818, but I just bought this. I just bought a MetaQuest 3. And I'm doing standalone VR in it. I will obviously connect to the PC. But this feels like a multi-billion-dollar product. You know, the PIMAX feels like cutting edge, rough, you know, I'm not sure I'd really recommend it for someone's absolute first dive into VR. Whereas this, the first time you put it up, you're like, you know, this just makes sense. There's windows in your house and everything, and it's kind of mad. So this is really cool. We're going to be doing a lot more Quest 3 content on that. Down here, we've got TLCMs, good pedals for carpet, kind of fall short on the rig, to be honest. Quite a lot of movement in these, but they are low tail pedals. These were a big deal when I started sim racing. Like they were huge when they came out. There's a CAMMUS C12 on the floor. This is an interesting one because it's just one unit for the direct drive. Probably one of the cheapest ways you can get to 12 Newton meters direct drive. Very heavy feeling though, like the CAMMUS, it feels heavy, like treacly, and you can change all sorts of settings in it, like the friction, road friction and stuff like that, which is interesting. Every brand is different as well, like CAMMUS, I don't know too much about them. I don't know what the customer service is like. And it's a really important point. If you're buying sim racing equipment, please, please, please leave comments, definitely under my videos or YouTubers' videos, because we won't experience the same issues that you experience. For example, if you have a CAMMUS YouTuber who gets a lot of equipment from CAMMUS, if they've got a problem, they'll reach out to CAMMUS directly and they'll get express fixing. Whereas if you buy something from CAMMUS, you will go through the normal channels. And it's really important that you let other people know how those normal channels are, especially prospective purchasers. So please, please, please leave those comments. Really important. Right, let's continue over here. Man, I'm going to drop this camera. I don't normally do these sort of like holding camera videos. Samsung 32-inch. Alienware. Oh yeah, Alienware OLED. This is an Alienware PC. I got a lot of heat for this. People saying, why are you getting Alienware? What's the point? Basically, you can get a lot of discounts for Alienware. You can stack them. You can do weird things with the discounts. And also it comes with the warranty. And I built my other PC. That's like a mad Thunderbolt system. Really complicated. So, you know, when the discounts added up, I was like, okay, that's great. This is a really cheap way to get this PC, actually, relatively speaking. What do we got here? Logitech RS Track. This is a new kind of ecosystem for Logitech with a hub and a rim going on their DD. I have a feeling that Logitech are really losing ground to Thrustmaster now because the T598 is so competitively priced for what you get with the wheelbase, the pedals, and a nice rim as well, that the Logitech DD11 is just really struggling to compete. That's my honest opinion on that. I strongly suspect that Logitech are going to come out with a cheaper DD and we're going to have amazing price competition at that point. I do, by the way, have the Thrustmaster hypercar wheel here, and I've got the T598 for review as well. So excited to see the quality of Thrustmaster. You know, what's the quality of this compared to the RS Track? You know, this is pretty good quality. It's that kind of like that, you know, brushed aluminium feel to it. I've had the original wheel for 2 years and it just looks brand new. How's this going to feel in comparison? This is more expensive, by the way. Moza CRP2 pedals, they're really good pedals from Moza, actually. Big improvement on the CRP ones. If you can see that, if it's all going to focus. I do a lot of Gran Turismo videos, obviously, you might know. If you're new here, by the way, welcome. Please subscribe. And I take a lot of photos, which is why I bought this PlayStation Portal to take all of that stuff. Let's continue over here. Got a shifter in the background. Not that exciting. This is the Moza Lamborghini wheel. Doesn't have magnetic shifters. doesn't have a funky switch. Do not buy this wheel if you want magnetic shifters or funky switch. Please, please, please. But it is a replica of the actual wheel in the Lamborghini Essenza V12 kind of track car, which I saw up close and personal in Jerez. And the wheel is basically exactly the same. I think the only difference you can see really is that it says Moza on this one. The real wheel, it doesn't say Moza. And you can see you can swipe through the screen, everything. It's an interesting wheel, feels very authentic. It's a heavy wheel as well. The quick release, I think the quick release is different from other Moza wheels. I feel like this is heavier duty, or it might be because this was like a pre-release version. Probably the most exciting thing in this video, saving it for here, is the simulated active pedals. These are the best pedals I've ever used, but also the most expensive. So it's hard for me to give a like cost benefit, you know, price ratio analysis on these, because they are just clear of everything else I've used, but they're also way more expensive. I really recommend if you can get to an expo or you ever see a rig with these on, try whatever you can do to try them, because then you know what the potential is on pedals. These are the active pedals. We know SimMagic are coming out with some similar ones as well. That should be a little bit cheaper as well. Is there anything else that I've got here? Let me have a check. There must be loads of stuff. Hopefully you're enjoying this video. By the way, I did just want to say, like, if you feel under any pressure to buy stuff on Black Friday, definitely don't like stretch yourself financially. Don't think, oh, okay, there's something that's been discounted in a higher budget and it's coming down almost at my budget, and if I take out some credit, you know, you can do what you want, but I would just say, like, don't. The brands are going to, like, those prices I think are going to come down because there's more competition in the space. Fanatec are getting more competition. LOGITECH are getting more competition. Thrustmaster, it's all so much more competition. Like, prices are going to come down. So don't rush. What I've done is I've created a website called www.simracingdiscounts.com that I'd appreciate if you could go on and just let me know your feedback. But the idea is that's just going to be the lowest prices for sim racing equipment at all times. So you can just go there and make your own decisions. But hopefully I've been able to give you some pros and cons, kind of honestly. Obviously some of these I've bought myself. Some of them have been gifted. But I just want, the main thing for me is I want you to have as much information as possible when you buy something. So you're not surprised. You're not surprised by the purchase process, the quality, the compatibility. I just want to do what I can to help there. And hopefully that helps you out. So let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know if you want to see some more exciting news coming with reviews. Like I said, this is all going to go somewhere else. And I will see you next time.